I'm Dr. Donna Albano, Associate Professor of Hospitality and Tourism Management Studies at Stockton University, and you're watching South Jersey Business with Joe Molyneux.
Welcome to South Jersey Business with Joe Molyneux. Thank you for joining us as we share information, tips, and techniques that can make our business community and your business more successful. Thank you to Stockton University for the opportunity to produce this South Jersey Business program. On today's show, we will be joined by Dr. Donna Albano, Associate Professor of Hospitality and Tourism Management Studies here at Stockton University. I've known Donna for over 20 years and have had the opportunity to witness her ongoing, expanding role as an educator and key community connector for Stockton. The professionalism and passion Donna brings to everything she undertakes is evident. She embodies all the elements that make a positive connection possible at a time that it is needed now more than ever. Stay tuned for our conversation with Dr. Donna Albano and more on South Jersey Business with Joe Molyneux. Welcome back to Business. Thanks for joining South Jersey Business with me, Joe Molyneux. Please welcome our guest, Dr. Donna Albano. Donna, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How long have you been at Stockton?
I have been at Stockton University for 14 years.
Wow. Can you talk about some of the different positions and roles you've held here at Stockton?
Absolutely, I would love to. I have been primarily a faculty member the entire time. So I'm an associate professor now in the Hospitality Tourism Management program. I have also been the coordinator of that program, so that is a little supervisory role. And I did some work for the Levinson Institute as well when the previous director needed an academic liaison.
That was Izzy Posner, correct?
That was Izzy Posner.
Yeah, great. I got the opportunity to work with Izzy as well. He's a great man.
It was a pleasure.
So many educators spend most of their time on educational duties, but not so in your case. You spend so much time in the community. Can you talk a little about some of those initiatives?
I would just say that everything I do is educationally based, to be honest with you. So even though I have a big role in the community, part of the teaching responsibility or the job responsibilities here at Stockton are both teaching, but research is a part of our responsibility, and community service is part of our responsibility. So I just like to think that my service to the community is a thread in everything I do, and it's all educational in nature.
See, I love that you used the word thread, which means you're making a connection, and those connections are so key to not only the college's success and the university's success, but also the student's success. Can you talk about some of the specific initiatives, maybe one or two examples of when all those things came together?
Sure. And they always come together, right? So, I mean, I teach in the classroom, but I teach students that are pursuing an interest in the hospitality and tourism management industry, which is predominant in our backyard. So then that allows me to work with employers to place students in internships and in full-time employment. But those same employers also want student talent. So they ask us to do projects, or they often ask for student volunteers. So there's always a connection with our business community and our students here at Stockton.
You always have a smile on your face when you talk about these initiatives. I mean, I know you can't contain your excitement for some of the initiatives, especially, as you said, they seem to always work out and have a very positive outcome. Of the ones that you've done recently, or the ones that you've done, which one kind of stands out and puts a bigger smile on your face?
So I'd have to say that they don't always work out, because when you're working with students, they don't know what they don't know. So a lot of it's trial and error. But for me, the beauty of working at a university is that you just get to tweak it and fix it and try it again and do better the next semester. So we've had organizations like Visit South Jersey, Atlantic City Your Way. We've worked for the Mays Landing, when I say work, we've partnered with the Mays Landing Merchants Society, and we've also done some work for Renault Winery. And these businesses want marketing plans, they want SWOT analysis, they need student volunteers for things, so there's all kinds of opportunities to connect what's going on in the classroom.
Well, you bring up one more interesting thought here. How do you stay current and relevant to that was a diverse list of things you do. How do you stay up to date with all those needs of the community?
I think when you're out and about, I call it boots on the ground, when you're out and about and you're at the chamber mixers and you are members of these associations, you naturally make those connections. And in those, I do swear work gets done at all these networking functions. And when you're out at those things, people will approach you and say, hey, I have an idea, or is there any way that I can work with Stockton on this initiative? And if you're motivated, you make it happen.
Donna, I want to thank you for sharing some of your background and the activities that you're undertaking here at Stockton.
My pleasure.
We'll be right back with more business talk with Dr. Donna Albano from Stockton University. We are back with Dr. Donna Albano, Associate Professor of Hospitality and Tourism Management Studies at Stockton University. Donna, how do you describe success?
From a work-related perspective, I think that I would describe success as loving what you do, being able to see the fruits of your labor, and being in an environment where you're allowed to continuously improve yourself. And that's what it is here at Stockton for me.
Earlier, we talked about some of the initiatives that you undertook in the community, and while you had said they're not all successful, I know each of them meet a measurable level of success.
Sure.
Can you talk a little bit about the student involvement, and at what point do the students realize that this opportunity is in front of them that they'll probably carry with them for the rest of their life, but when does that light bulb go off? Can you talk about that process?
Yeah, it's a great question because it's often a delayed reward because students see projects and work as a challenge and they're not always sure what the end product's going to be, and a lot of those initiatives I talked about are group project related. They're not individual student projects. So oftentimes it's when they get to their internship or when they're doing their resume for graduation that they really are able to articulate the role that they played in a real live business project.
It's so wonderful the way you piece those things together because you couldn't do it without being engaged in the community, and you are. You mentioned your work with LIGHT, the Levinson Institute for Gaming and Hospitality Tourism, and that was a different set of parameters you were working under when there was more activity and attention paid to the casino industry at that time.
Right.
But now we're on to a brave new world of craft breweries, distilleries, wineries. How have those real life experiences helped you grab projects and bring them back into the classroom in that specific area?
So it's a great question because you asked how I stay current and relevant. And so by following trends, certainly craft beverage tourism in the United States is a trend, and particularly in New Jersey. So we did some research, a colleague of mine, she's a critical tourism scholar. Her name's Dr. Christina Cavalier, and she was able to bring me in on a project to get New Jersey on the map, basically, from an American perspective of how craft beverage tourism has evolved.
Now, that also put, if I'm not mistaken, our region, New Jersey and our region on the map because you got to specialize in the New Jersey area of the craft industry. How did that, again, come about? I knew you were invited to do it, but how much work went into that? I mean, you're talking about an entire state initiative, correct?
So, yes, I didn't know initially when Christina asked me to be part of the project, but she was an editor of a 2-volume textbook on the emergence of craft beverages in the United States of America. And as a Jersey girl, she wanted to make sure New Jersey was included in those texts. So she turned to me and asked me if I would help her, because of my connections in the community, if I would help her do some research on the emergence specifically of craft distilleries in the state. There's 16 licensed craft distilleries in the state right now. So at the time we did our research, there were 7, and we were able to do some really informative research on the emergence of the trend.
You are so busy. You're doing so much in the classroom, in the community. What's the future hold for Dr. Donna Albano? I need to ask, what's next?
I need to find the brakes a little bit. But I think what's interesting is we're starting to see some of our students interested in hospitality education. When I say students, even alum. So they go out, they work in industry, and they love education. And I'm starting to see some alum interested in maybe being hospitality educators themselves. So I think the future holds me grooming the next generation of hospitality educators.
Such a positive outlook on what's going on. I mean, I love it. I want to thank you for sharing your time and your talents with us.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much, Donna.
Sure.
We'll be right back with more business talk with Dr. Donna Albano, Associate Professor of Hospitality Tourism Management Studies at Stockton University. As you are aware, management, marketing, money, and media are the essential parts of any business. And the business of teaching business and helping connect the university and students to the South Jersey business community is no different. So it's time for the M4 Big Money Question. Donna, let's break them down. Let's start with your management style. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. I mean, in all of my organizations, I manage students in the classroom for sure. I manage employers when I manage the internship. I manage lots of committees that need to get work done for internal or external constituents. So sure, there's lots of management.
You have so much going on. Management is a big part of what you do every day. How about marketing? Because you got to get the word out not only to the students, but to the people that you're doing work for in the community when you do engage. How do you market?
I think there's internal ways and there's external ways to market. So I think, again, being out and about and you're marketing all the time. I have my Stockton hat on in almost everything I do. So just being present is a form of marketing. Internally, there's plenty of ways between social media and communicating with our students in person, holding meetings, informally and formally to market the message for sure.
Now, when we get to the third M, which is money, it's a little different than running a business when you're, part of a large organization like a university. But money's still an important part of the equation. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, a lot of the things I'm engaged with revolve around scholarship money. So I belong to several organizations that fundraise and reach out to students that need money and qualify for money through my scholarship organization. So money is absolutely a threat as well.
I love it. That leads us to the fourth M, media. Can you talk a little bit about how you use the media to celebrate some of the works that you're doing and let people know the good works that you're getting done here at Stockton?
Yeah, I may have stolen this from you, but there's no motion like promotion, right, Joe?
That's true.
And I believe that everything we do needs to, so if I go to a student event, we're taking pictures, we're posting it, I'm sharing it with the School of Business, the university, anybody who'll really listen, quite frankly. So we have lots of media.
I do have a follow-up to that. You and I have kind of grown up and gotten a little older during this social media revolution. But isn't it wonderful, and can you talk a little bit about how the college has really embraced the social media movement to stay connected to the college, to the university, as well as the students? Sure.
I think we have one of the busiest Twitter feeds I've ever seen, quite frankly, if you follow Stockton on Twitter. And it's really accessible. So if you have something that you'd like to say, the university is really willing to promote whatever it is you're doing. It could be an event, it could be students celebrating something like a scholarship. So we have a lot of methods of communication here, and the college is pretty cutting edge when it comes to that.
Well, I definitely follow your social media activity, not just in a personal way, because we are friends,
sure,
but also in the professional way. And I have to tell you, I've been aware of so many great events you've done in the community simply because we're engaged on social media. Do you find other people tell you the same thing?
Sure. The power of share is pretty powerful in our community. And when you have a network like ours, it's important that we all communicate and we all support each other. So by posting and sharing and encouraging other people, especially for me, I make no bones about needing your attendance at some of the events that I'm sponsoring for fundraising for student scholarships.
We talked about the business and the 4M side of education, but for the personal brand, how important it is to mix those 4Ms up?
The personal brand is your message, right? So everywhere you are, you're wearing that hat or flying that flag, however you want to put that. So the personal brand is always being managed, for sure.
Donna, I want to thank you for sharing your views on the M4 Big Money Question.
My pleasure.
There you have it, Dr. Donna Albano's well-educated spin on the M4 Big Money Question. Consider it a mini master's class on management, marketing, money, and media. Welcome back. On today's 3-minute drill, we will stick with today's theme and audit a class with epic educational business lessons. Taking total inspiration from our education guest, we will go big by utilizing the acronym EPIC to teach you 4 essential tips for taking hold of opportunities that are sometimes missed in business. Education, professional growth, interactions, and truly caring are essential parts to better understanding the people, places, and things that can make you more successful. The school bell has rung, so let's get started. Education is essential. Education in business is something that is a key to operating a successful business. In business, one should never stop learning. Making educated business decisions is based on being educated. Even if you do not utilize traditional forms of education, continue to seek opportunities to learn. Be a lifelong learner if you want to be a lifelong earner. Professional growth. Every experience you have, both inside and outside your business, may contribute to your success or perhaps your failure. As a business owner, whether you recognize it or not, the experiences you have in business with clients, suppliers, employees, and even competitors does contribute to your future professional development and growth. If you seek out growth opportunities, you will find them in abundance. Interactions present opportunities. Make it a point to engage in the conversation when appropriate and possible. That is a quality that seems to be present in almost every successful business owner we meet. Make sure there is positive interactions with those you come in contact with, and you will learn from those conversations. Be sure to follow this rule and teach this rule to your team members, and your customer service within your business will be much better for it. Care about everything and everyone. Be appreciative of what you have and those people and things around you that have made a measurable level of success possible. Make sure the people around you know how much you enjoy the time you spent with them. This helps to create value in the relationship. This holds true even in competitive situations. In business, we do not always win. However, we can choose to appreciate everything and everyone around us as we strive for success. So there you have it. 4 essential, epic, education-inspired tips for this week's 3-minute drill. As a proud graduate of Stockton, it is wonderful to meet and speak with so many business people in our region who have a past or a current link to the university as well. Let's plug into a Stockton Community Connection. John, you and Good Time Tricycle are heavily involved in all that Stockton's doing, Stockton University, not only with the growth of the college, but you have been a friend of the university for quite some time. Can you talk a little bit about a few of the things, specifically how you interact with the students on the regular basis?
So, we're going to go back in time. We're going to jump in the DeLorean and head back in time, right? 13 years ago, Donna Albano. I met Donna through a friend of mine, Bert. Donna and I hit it off. We talked about utilizing students as volunteers for some of the programs, and it evolved to us taking interns, and it evolved to now one of you Stockton students occupy my office. Like, she won't leave. No, so we've hired Stockton students, and we interact, we engage. I use Donna as a sounding board because Donna's got a very, very strong grasp on tourism, beverage tourism, and in that we also put ourselves out there. Like, okay, you've been here for us. How can we be here for you? Just so recently, helping with the events class and giving them some content and some guidance in how to produce certain events.
Beverage tourism, of course, is exploding in South Jersey. It's one of the #1 growth areas. I think if we point to something that's really helping drive new business in our area, and you were on the cusp of that, I'll actually say that you were one of the people that brought attention to it through the events of letting people all over the region and all over this part of the nation see what it's all about. The information that you get, that you share with Donna, and then of course the students help collect, I'm sure, and they do their reporting, and I know Donna published a book, helped publish a book on beverage tourism. How critical is that information to help you do what you do, as well as to connect with the students that will be your future customers?
Well, what I do, So it's a great kind of affirmation, right? That's the word I'll use. It's a great affirmation of, what we'd already kind of knew, but we're really like, is this really a thing? Donna put the pieces together and said, yeah, no, it's really a thing. And, navigating the waters that we had to learn, rough, loose. She's actually put that together to show people who are, they're doing distilleries, they're doing craft breweries, they're doing wineries, meaderies, ciders. There is a path to be followed, and there is a business model here. And she's kind of helping that footprint for tourism. So right now she's talking distilleries, craft breweries, trying to align them, getting me in the right place and saying, hey, here's a path to bringing money into your community that you're the seed for, but then hotels, transportation, restaurants benefit after the fact.
There's the work part of work, there's the social part of work, and then there's that giving back part that you're talking about. You strike me as someone that enjoys getting in front of a group of young people and giving information, but also receiving information. How much fun do you have when you get in front of those classes to speak about your experience and what you've been able to build?
So Donna puts a shock collar on me when we get in there so she's like, John's having too much fun. Bang, bang, bang. No, it's good. It's, it's a little bit of giving back. I like to hear myself talk. Clearly that's a thing. But what I've learned and I can pass on to somebody, that's awesome. I never thought, when I was in college that I would be able to pass information that I've learned, that I've acquired, that I've created onto a group of people who are even remotely interested. I can get my own kid to take out the garbage. So I get these kids and talking and they ask questions. I mean, it's inspiring.
I'm going to put you in the role of educator and teacher for just a second. A lot of times when young people experience something, they don't fully appreciate it until they're in a situation where they're applying what they have learned. Now, you had a recent success in hiring an intern, as you mentioned, into a full-time position. At what point did you realize during that internship that individual was going to be or could be potentially a key member to Good Times Tricycles staff?
I'm pretty sure I'm going to be working for her in the next 4 years.
She's going to be happy to hear
She's going to, no, she knows it. She kicked me out of my office today. No, so I've I've had the pleasure of working with 7 Stockton interns now.
Wow.
Megan Barilla being our first, and we bring her back every year. So that was 13 years ago. We bring her back every year to participate in some of our programs and work because she knows them because she was there from the beginning. We met Claire with Donna, I want to say just over a year ago. Now, Claire had been volunteering for about 3 years. Met her, talked to her. She organized our volunteers for last year, and then just kind of kept in touch. And Stacy from our team was like, this girl's out of this world. She's a lot of fun. She knows what she's talking about. She asks questions about everything. I love people who ask questions. I love, and not asking it like, why you do, like, I want to know. Like, I want to know every moving piece of what we're doing and how it's done. So she asked these questions. So we sat down and we let her intern with us. We were like, all right, so you're going to intern, through a portion of the summer. And she got working with us. And she was in the office 3 days a week and just sponge, just taking it all in, asking the right questions, problem solving. In this business, problem solving is so important. Like, well, if this happens, we do this. And even I was taken back going, I didn't think of that. Get her out of the building, but no, it worked. She was on point. So when it came time and her internship was up, we sat down and we were like, well, we need to offer this girl this job because, we need to fill this role. And it just, the stars aligned and, Claire was there. And at first I didn't think she was going to take the job. She was like, well, I'm going to think about it. I was like, this is an awesome job. What do you have to think about? It took her a couple days. I think she knew, but she was kind of just playing the game, which was awesome. And she came on board and, fantastic asset to our organization.
I want to thank you for explaining and giving advice to the people that are looking for a job exactly what they need to do to take an internship and potentially take it to the next level. Thank you so much for sharing.
Hey, I'm here to share, bro.
That was John Henderson, Executive Event Producer at Good Time Tricycle. We'll be right back. As the audience size that continues to tune into South Jersey business in our region grows, so does the amount of questions we continue to receive. With so many questions and limited time, we do our best to respond to your inquiries. So it's time for Q&A. Here's this week's question. Dear South Jersey business, I want to entice more customers to visit my store more frequently. Can you offer a few suggestions on how to keep new and existing customers coming back more often? Well, that is definitely a marketing type question. The answer could be as simple as putting together as many reasons that you can think of that a customer may want to visit your store more often. Then, of course, you need to reach those customers through marketing channels. Not a bad idea, but it could be costly. Instead, I would like to suggest you let a few of your regular customers tell you why they visit more than the average customer or what would make them visit more. Identify and invite those customers to an open house focus group. Perhaps give them an incentive to attend, but ask them to please be honest in answering the questions you ask them. You may be surprised at some of the answers. However, you are seeking information that will help you create a better environment to keep customers coming back. And while you're at it, offer those truly loyal customers an incentive to recommend your store to their friends and acquaintances. If you track, record, and reward those responsible for the increase in the visitors to your store, you will continue to benefit from this strategy. I hope that helps answer your question. Kelly, many of the businesses we meet have a strong community connection, and I would definitely put you in that category. I understand you've done a lot of work with an education foundation.
I have, Joe. The beauty of having two children go through a school system is you're always asked to be treasurer. It's been a great experience. I do live in Linwood, and I was treasurer of the Linwood Education Foundation for 12 years, I believe, even before my kids were there. Great organization, and I met so many great people, and I love being a part of that.
Your newest volunteer opportunity is something I know is very close to your heart. You're with the Alcove Center for Grieving Children. Can you talk a little bit about what the work they do and then your role there?
Sure. It's something that I've thought about being involved with the Alcove for a long time, but again, I'm busy, but the time seemed right. With LEF wrapping up, and I decided that is where I would like to spend my volunteer hours. The Alcove Center works with grieving families, and honestly, my neighborhood itself has been touched by tragedy, and the Alcove Center has come in and helped those families, and I just decided it was a good fit for me. And again, it's a new position for me. I've only been there a year, but it's just what they've done for the community is just phenomenal. I'm proud to be part of it.
Well, a couple things there. I know you're making a difference because I've watched you make a difference, and I think the lesson that can be learned here is when people are busy, they seem to always still find time to give back to their community. I want to thank you for doing that, and keep doing what you're doing because it's definitely working.
Oh, thanks, Joe.
That was certified public accountant Kelly Batts. We'll be right back with more South Jersey Business. Well, that's the show. We had a quality sit-down with Dr. Donna Albano, Associate Professor of Hospitality and Tourism Management Studies here at Stockton University. We offered up an answer to a viewer question and even learned about 4 basic business strategies inspired by our education guest. Once again, thank you to Stockton University and everyone that makes this program possible. Let's do it again next week. Let's get growing, South Jersey. Thanks for watching.